Good morning. I'm Charlene. I'm one half of the Witchy Stitchers. It is September 27th, about 9:50 in the morning, and I am finally coming back to you with video. I had promised you that I would try to come back once a month. Last month, when it was literally like the day or two before I was supposed to come back and see you, I was laying in bed and Poe was walking back and forth, kind of being, annoying, being kitty-like. And I picked her up, so she was kind of walking across my chest, picked her up, went to move her, and I don't know if she thought I was going to drop her or if she got scared. I'm not really sure what happened, but as I'm lifting her up over me and I'm trying to move her, she put her back feet down and tore a pretty good sized little gash in my face. And although it's very superficial and you can just see a little of it now, it was very unsightly, and I didn't think that you needed to see me looking like Scarface in my videos. So that is why I've waited until it's basically gone to come back and say hello. So anyway, here I am. Everything is going well. I have a lot to show you, so I cannot promise whether this will be a short or a long video. And I had, oh, he went over there. I had Luna here. If he comes back, I will have him say hello to you. I am literally fresh out of the shower. I wanted to get this done because today is a short school day, short work day for Preston. Got quite a bit of stuff going on this afternoon, so wanted to get this done so I'd have plenty of time to get it uploaded. So I hope all of you guys are doing well. I hope that the beginning of fall has treated you well. Everything is good here. Just a lot of busyness, and we'll get into that. So update, recap. Oh, by the way, this is video number 114. So now I'm back on the even numbers since Morgan's kind of taken a little bit of a hiatus. Quick update on Morgan. She's doing great. She is loving her labs that she's able to do. She's been able to go out to one of the local lakes there with her environmental group. I'm not sure what it is, and I don't want to tell you wrong. All I can tell you is that she's having a blast. She's doing really well. She's kicking ass and taking names. So thumbs up to Morgan. The purple pile that you see behind me is now gone, and that is now in a quilt here beside me. I will show you. This is a Halloween pile. I had started a Halloween quilt a few years ago. It's just a wall hanging, and never got it finished. Have been sorting and organizing my fabrics. This pile here will eventually turn into that quilt. So I won't apologize for the pile because that is quilt in progress. Is that what you call that? A quilt work in progress? It's a new word. Anyway, so for the month of September so far, I am at 7,418 stitches. For the year, I am at 108,920,000 stitches. 108,920. Yeah, because numbers. Have a little tiny bit of haul. Got some thread with this. Of course, thread can't travel alone. So, but the thread was for a project for Morgan, so it's already in a box on its way to Kansas. Well, it'll be on its way to Kansas tomorrow because I still need to make biscotti to go into it because she asked for biscotti for her weekly treat. So we'll see. I also made M&M chocolate cookies yesterday, so she might get some of those too. We'll see. But the other thing that I bought to go with the thread was Let Love Rain. It's a Teresa Kogut, and there's 3 patterns in here. So these 2 on the back. I can feel you. Do you want to say hi? Let me show my book and then I'll let you say hi. Luna's down here. So I gotta find this so I don't show you guys the pattern. Ooh, and the pattern's gonna be there. I don't want to bin my book. So I will do it this way. So this is the full Let Love Rain pattern. And the pattern is very small. For those of you who are wondering the size, it is 294 by 390. Insert sarcasm here. So this is one of my mini projects to start for next year. I want to make that for Preston. So I love this. So that was my treat to myself this week. Do you want to say hi? Okay, come here. Come here. You can say hi. This is Luna. You want to say hi? He doesn't like to be held. He's kind of a funny cat. He loves to be petted, loves you to stroke him and sit by him and all those wonderful things, but don't jump on that ironing board. But he doesn't like to be held. And his sister is the same way. Pet me, love me, rape me from afar, but don't hold me. They've been that way since they literally were kittens. So anyway, so if you see a tail swish, don't knock it down, please. Or you get seasickness from him. It's Luna. The other three are in on the couch asleep because it's kind of chilly this morning. And I have Jinxie behind me. She's saying hi too. So I will show you my finishes right quick. Oh, you want to say hi, Snoopy? Oh, I don't think they can see you. Oh, let's tip it down just a smidge. Oh, they can see the Snoopy and her gray whiskers. That's my Snoopy. She's Border Collie Aussie. And she is just ornery. Yeah, she's just ornery. Okay. Yes, I'm just talking to my computer. I know, Mom hasn't lost her stuff yet. She's just talking. I know. Okay, so the finishes that I have two quilt tops that one is completely done, but I need to quilt it. And the other is partially done. I need to do the border. And then I have a fully finish that was a retirement gift for a lady that worked with Preston at CDOT. She was there, I want to say 29 years, something like that. Anyway, I made her a quilt, just a real simple quilt. There's not a repeat in the blocks, and made her cry, which was not my intention, but she loved it. This is the purple pile that was back here. This is that. This one's for Morgan. And the purples and blacks and blues and whites complement this fabric down here, which is leftover fabric from a blouse that I made her a few years ago. And then the other quilt that I finished, well, I didn't finish. It's, like I said, I still have to do the borders, which this is the pattern. So you can see I still need to do these piece borders there. And this is the inside of it. And it's a Bargello pattern. It's just a lap quilt. I think it's, what's that say? 60 by 70 finish. So it's just going to be a lap quilt for the couch, you know, taking naps, watching TV, stitching, whatever. I had wanted to make a Bargello since I learned to quilt, and I have always been very intimidated by them. And I don't know if she watches my videos, but a really good friend of mine, she kept telling me, she's like, Charlene, trust me, if you can do the quilts that you do, you can do a Bargello. It's very easy. I was like, And I have an abundance of red, white, and blue fabric from other projects that I have worked on over the years and I'm working on currently. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try this. I had to really focus. Like, I couldn't just sit down at the sewing machine and just whip it out like I do my others, but it sewed up really well, and it was a lot of fun. And if I can do it, you guys can do it. And I'm sure that there's a lot of you out there that are like, I've done like 50 of those. It's a piece of cake. It was intimidating to me. So I was really proud that I was able to pull it off. So, and then my last finish, and I finished this, not counting cross stitch, this is stitching. I finished this, what day did I finish this? I don't know. It was one day earlier because he had to have this for his, maybe I actually finished it on Monday. I don't remember. He had to have it for his induction ceremony. And that is the shirt that I made for my son, Terrible Glare. This is my husband. So Dalton was inducted into the National Honor Society. And when I went to school, back when we rode dinosaurs, you dressed up. Like the guys wore a jacket, like you dressed nice. And coming from a small town, it was a big thing. The girls wore very nice dresses. It was a big thing. We show up to his induction ceremony, and there was, I think, 53 kids inducted, 65 kids. It was a pretty good number. There was only him and one other boy that had a tie. Dalton was the only one with a jacket. There was actually a girl that showed up in sweatpants and a hoodie. I mean, to me, again, dressing nice, representing what this honor means, I thought it was a little insulting. But, you know, I'm learning, and Dalton keeps reminding me that things aren't like they used to be. That the kids don't dress to the nines like we did. So, anyway, he was inducted. Super proud of him. He is getting, you know, busy with college applications. He has an opportunity to apply for the Daniels Fund Scholarship, which is huge, both from a dollar standpoint and from, you know, saying I was awarded the Daniels Scholarship. He's just got his plate very, very full of things going on right now. So, yeah, and I cranked that out, and I timed myself because this was a new pattern I had never done before, and I ended up finishing it in like 2.5 hours. So I was pretty proud of myself, because that doesn't count cutting it out. That's just sewing it up, and doesn't count buttons, because I'm one of those weird people that buttons always take longer than the shirt or the dress. I've decided I'm button incompetent. Anyway, okay, as far as cross stitch goes, I had 2 finishes. They were both this month. Didn't have any finishes at all. Well, that's a lie. I had one very big finish in August, but I'll share that with you in a little bit. So cross stitch finishes. So I finished July, and I think this is, I want to say it's cottage needlework. I don't have the pattern. It's in the box to go to Morgan too. I have the whole series, January through December. So, and they're still available. They're still on their website. So I got July done, and then Monday, it was Monday, I finished October. And I finished October, and I'll explain in my plans, because I didn't want, it was super close to a finish. I think I had like, I don't know, 700 stitches left or something. I wanted to get it done because I didn't want this to be part of my October plans, even though it works because it's October, and I'll explain when I get to that part. So, what you doing, Jinxie? Oh no, that's Snoopy. What are you doing, Snoopy? Lay down, be a good girl. Okay, so what I've worked on since I've seen you last, quite a bit, and be good. You're being silly. So I'm just going to grab from my piles, because I have piles all over here. So you guys know that, and I think I told you this in my video, that I wanted to get this done. I don't know what they're doing. Go lay down. I'll be done in a little bit, I promise. Yeah, go lay down. Our neighbor got a new puppy, and he ties the puppy up outside because apparently she keeps having accidents in the house. I'm not going to go there. And when she's outside, she cries and she whines and she barks, and she wants back in with her human. And it's just got Snoopy beside herself, which justifiably so. But anyway, that's where we're at. So I worked on this, the girls' room for Morgan. And even though it's kind of little kid-like, she's like, no, Mom, I want this done. I want to have it and enjoy it. I'm like, okay, I will get it done. And I was absolutely making great progress on this. I am finished minus this, and then of course the French notch, which I'm going to put beads in. I think I've got the back stitch done to about here, again minus the moniker on the board, and then I've got the stitching done to, I started on the bear yesterday. So what I do is I try to work through the whole color palette that I still have, and then the last thing I pick up is the brown that I do for the back stitch. So I'm not saving the back stitch for last, because I compare back stitch to cross stitch like the buttons in a shirt or the editing on a novel. Back stitch is the bane of my existence. And for those of you that love it, amen, because I ain't one of those people. I guess I'll just toss them down here on the floor because it's a mess. Okay, the next thing that I worked on, and these aren't in any particular order, these are just, like I said, I'm just grabbing from the piles. So, Van Gogh's Field of Poppies. I almost have the 4th row done all the way across. And I think there's 100 and, I think it's 170 long or down. So I'm working across, you know, thread completion. And so to finish this 4th row, I have just this little bit of turquoise right in here. And that 4th row will be done. So I've got a ways to go yet before I get into the reds. But you can see the trees and obviously the sky, and you can see the mountain in the background. So, and then I brought the border, yeah, this border. I am, I think 7 or 8 away from the bottom down here. I had this, it's 37.52, and so I brought it down as far as I could, and then of course I think I did a little bit over here on this side too. So I am loving this piece. It's 18 count, so I can't travel with it, but I work on it in the evenings when we're watching news or football or whatever. It gets most of its love on the weekends because I don't spend, I don't watch a lot of TV during the week. And we've got so much going on, like I said, and nothing bad, just, we're just busy between school and, yeah. So I worked on this, and I'm not sure why I worked on this, unless it was because, my zipper won't open, because it was, maybe it was an anniversary, you know, like that. Its anniversary date. Actually, I think it was, because I think I started this one on the, so this is a Leonid Efremov, and I think the anniversary of his death was the 19th of August. Don't quote me on that, but I think. And Morgan and I had started this with another stitcher, Nicole. She doesn't do videos anymore, but she's back in Michigan. And the 3 of us started it together. And I just immediately fell in love with this. I want this done to hang in my dining room. I think this is just a great piece, so colorful. And Morgan is with Van Gogh, or with Leonid, like I am with Van Gogh. She has several of his pieces to do either in cross stitch or in diamond painting. She loves him, and he's an incredible artist. But I worked on this, whatever date it was, for the anniversary of when I started it. And I don't know for sure what I did. I know that I worked on the oranges, and I know that I brought this black over. There's a bunch of black. And then I was missing, I don't know, half a dozen or so colors. And I kept telling myself, you got to pick them up, you got to pick them up. And I finally remembered to pick them up when I went to Hobby Lobby, Joann's, whatever. And so when I was working on it, I was also kitting up or bobbinating up the thread. And this is a bag that I made. I thought it was perfect for a cafe. And Morgan made my zipper pull. Oh, and it's a coffee. So she's made all of my zipper pulls for my bags. So not a whole lot of progress, but some. And then I am not caught up in this, but I did work on it night before last. So I think I'm 2 days behind. And this is the Temperature Quaker by Stitch and Money. And you can find those on her Etsy page. And like I said, I think I'm 2 days behind now because I worked on it over the weekend. This motif it kind of jumps a little bit, and I didn't want to mess up count, so I waited until I had a date that I could build off of so I didn't mess up. So let's see where we at. This is the September motif, and my colors are very bland and very boring, but it's still pretty. So this is September. As you can see, all 4 of these are the exact same color. We have not had very much, and I have a feeling that the next motif, so it's, I think I go over here now. No, I don't either. I think I come down here. They're probably going to be the same color because we've been sticking right in the mid to high 70s. Nothing exciting at all. Our evenings are getting cold, but or not cold. Cold to me is, you know, below 0, but they have been chilly. So, and then, well, close your eyes because this is one of my bags and it's rude and it's just the way it is, but this is another one of my bags. And my zipper pull, so when I made this, I was working on the temperature tree that Sarah had done, and so Morgan made me a tree to put on it, and this is just my temperature bag. So I still don't think I'm going to do one next year. Our plans have changed a little bit as far as what we're going to be doing. So I don't know if I'm going to do one next year. We'll just have to see. So, let's see. Next up is the April Fairy, and she is a travel piece. I have her on Pattern Keeper, and it works perfect to take her along. And if memory serves me right, I don't know if I showed you guys this or not. Maybe I showed it to you the last time. I need to hem it. But I got clear over to the edge over here. So this is the edge of the pattern. And what I've been doing is working, filling in, kind of like I'm doing on Field of Poppies. I'm filling in a block of 10 and with a color, and then just working across with it. And then if that color is down here after I finish off what I'm stitching there, then I'll bring it down here and work on it. This was one of those that I was going to try to do color completion on, but I don't like how yellows and whites and light colors, they don't bleed, but they fluff when you stitch black first. I don't, because to me it looks dirty. It dirties the yellows and the whites. Same way with red and white. And so I decided not to do that because there's a lot of yellow in her hair and I didn't want that, which I can throw it in the wash machine, which I do anyway, but I didn't want to do that. So my next piece is my emerald. This is a Carolyn Manning. This is also a travel piece. And I finally picked up the interfacing to fix this. So if you guys remember, for those that have watched me, which I never do, did not allow myself enough space on this one. I'm short literally like 9 stitches. And so I finally picked up the interfacing so I can get it fixed, so I can finish taking it over the edge over here, because this is where I'm short. So I am clear to the bottom, and I have, let me see here. I think this right here will be the finish of page 1. So, and I just pick up a color and work on it. I don't have any rhyme or reason. I'm hoping to get the interfacing and stuff put on it after I get done with the big project, which I'm going to show you, but I just haven't got that far yet. So, okay, next thing that I worked on was, and I think I worked on this one, I'm not sure if it was an anniversary or if it was because it was Dalton's birthday. You know, the 14th of the month I work on a project for him, and on the 11th for me, and so on. And I'll explain that. Another bag that I've made, and I'm not sure I'm assuming it's a play on words because it's a Star Wars piece, starfish. I'm not sure. I'm going to assume, but we both know what assumption spells. So this is the Star Wars dogfight, and Morgan got this for me off of this Etsy page, and they were still there. It's been a couple months ago. Whether she still has patterns or not, I don't know. But she, like I said, she was still there a couple months ago because I actually got on and looked because of the Stormtrooper that she has available. And I think it sets like this. I think this is where I'm at. I didn't get very much done. In fact, I've still got the thread on there, which is very not like me. They're not big. I think this one is only 22,000 stitches. It's not huge. And this one is another one that makes a great travel piece because it's on 14 count and it is also in Pattern Keeper. So it works out really well. All right. And I have been organizing sticking with my plans for next year as far as the 52 in 24. I turn 52 next year. There's 52 weeks in a year, so my plan is to start a project every week. I'm going to shoot for Monday because the first day of the year is a Monday, so that's going to work out really cool. I've mentioned that on here before. That's my plan. And I've been working on getting that organized, but it's a slow process because, like I said, we've been busy. I'm getting there. So this one, and I just worked on this one this last week. This is Prickly by Cute. And I finished, let me think. I finished that little guy, and I finished I think it was this one I finished. I have 4 more left to go, and these will be done. And they're super fast stitches. In fact, the border is the longest part of this, but it's not done. So yeah, I finished this one and this one. And I use beads instead of French knots, and I changed the color of the border because I didn't like the border was really pale. It was it was this color, the color of this little cacti, and I didn't like that. I wanted a darker border, so I changed that up a little bit. And as far as I know, it's still available on their website. I think it's Fuzzy Fox Designs. And memory serves me, Morgan bought this one first, but I think they're an Australian company. I think. Don't quote me though. And another bag that I made. Morgan and I started this one at the same time. And then my little pole that she made me. We have matching bags, and I'm not sure what her zipper pole is. It might be the same, but anyway. All right. And the next, and this one did not get love on the 26th of this month. And it won't get love this month, which I'm a bad stitchy mom because I've ignored this child. But this one, as you guys know, I started on my dad's birthday. And I finally got all of the thread kitted up, which is good because it was driving me nuts being in the bottom of my bag. And my progress on this one, and I think this is, I can never remember. It's either on 20 or 22 count. But I have quite a few of that top row of 10 done. And I'm working my way across. So all you can see is blues. Nothing to get excited about. This was another one that I had contemplating doing a color finish on. But once you get through the blues, then you really have to hop around and whatnot. And so I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Right now I'm going to stay the course. Okay, and then this is another one that I did not work on Monday. Again, time has not been my friend lately. But this is festive frosting, and when I worked on it the last time, I am in this cupcake up here. So all of these three are done, and then I have part of this graffiti or confetti, not graffiti, confetti, and then some of the verbiage done. And then I came up and I started on this one, and you can't see a lot. This is just a piece of shiny gold fabric that I found at, I think I found it at Joann's. I'm not sure. Joann's or Michael's. Joann's probably. But that's where I got on that one. But these three are done, minus the beading that I will use instead of French knots. And yeah, so like I said, I didn't touch it this month, and it's not going to get touched now probably until October, if it gets touched in October. We'll see. We'll see what time elapses. I'm going to put that one up there because it's got thread in it, and I don't want it to get lost. Okay, and the last one that I worked on, so I had told you guys that I had taken my frog pile, and I had dissected it into 12, excuse me, kind of jumping, oh, excuse me, I forgot to grab some water before I came in. I had jumped on the bandwagon of, taking a piece and dividing it into 12, and I had decided to do that with my frog pile. And I can't remember if I started this one at 18 or 19. I wasn't keeping track of my start dates when I started this one, so I'm not for sure when I did it. I know that it was after I ended up buying this pattern on sale at Joann's after I had surgery on my knee, and that was in June of 18. And I think I bought it that summer and started it, but I'm not positive. So anyway, I reached my goal, my September goal, and this divided out perfectly into 18 rows for 12 months. So let's see here. I think right here, maybe somewhere right in here was, oh, it couldn't have been because I did too. I backstitched it. So actually it was right there was the cutoff for September. So, and October's chunk is going to be really small. I mean, up 18, but all I've got is just this little bit in the frog right here, because this was already done. And then of course I got the back stitching done, and I had to finish this leg because it was part of August and September. So I just went ahead and got it done because I had the threads on my needle and got it finished. So October is going to be a small chunk, which is probably a good thing. I'm worried as far as these upper bits because there's not a whole lot done, which means there's going to be a lot of stitching. And what I've contemplated doing is, which I do anyway, if I have thread left over from, say, 743, then I will take it up and I will sew it in, somewhere up higher. But I think what I might do, since October is such a small swath, is put more effort into maybe like December, January, the chunks that are really, really big, that there's very little stitching in. So I'm not totally overwhelmed and don't get tired of working on it when those months come. I'm contemplating. We'll see. Like I said, October is going to be crazy. This is another bag that I made. The fabric inside is these ginormous leaves, which are perfect for frogs. And then my zipper pull, again, Morgan made me, is a frog on a lily pad. So, I never remember to show my bags and stuff. I just take it out and go. So that's why I'm showing you. Okay, so I think that's all of the stitching. We're half an hour in. Sorry, guys. I'm trying not to be too long. So my plans for October are as follows. So I listed all of my projects that were either Halloween and or fall related. That also included October. And technically it should involve November and December because that's into the fall months. But because after finishing October, I have 7 projects divided into 31, that works out perfect to give each one of them 4 days. And that gives me a couple days over, because I've got some stuff going on in October, that if I don't stitch those 2 or 3 days, I'm not totally ruining my plans. So that being said, what I plan to work on in October, and hopefully when I come back to you end of October, first part of November, because this is the end of September, I will have made some progress on these. So these are in no particular order. These are just in the order that I wrote them down on. So I had mentioned I had bought had bought thread for Morgan. We started this together. She dyed the fabric for us. Our fabrics are very different. Hers is it's like a spooky green. It's not really yellow, but it does have a green tinge to it. It kind of gives me the Frankenstein vibe, which is perfect for this. But she was missing, in her handful of threads, she was missing 3. So I ordered those 4, got them sent off, and this is going to be one of the ones that obviously will be for October stitching. And again, this is a piece that she dyed for me, and it's 18 count, and this is where I am at so far. So this will get, each one of these will get 4 days in October. I'm not going to worry about stitch count as far as, oh, I have to have, X stitches. I'm just going to give them each 4 days. So that will give me progress on them. Again, no particular order. So, but before I can start on, I'm trying to think. Before I can start on 2 of these, I have got to take them in and get them blown up. I took Away We Ride in and had that pattern blown up. Had a really helpful lady at Office Max. She took really, really good care of me and got it blown up. She put it on a 16 by 20 for me. So yeah, I was super happy with that. So this one, this is the Autumn Art Nouveau. So this is the grape one. And I finished the Christmas one. I took this one in and had it blown up too, because again, blind. And I think this is the direction. Yeah, this is where I'm at on this. So, and this is a piece of fabric that I dyed, maybe Morgan dyed. One of us dyed. And I cut it into 4. So that's what I'm using for all 4 of these. So that's where I'm at. And again, no goal of a finish, just 4 days of love to see what I can get done. This one doesn't have a zipper pull, but this is some leftover Laurel Birch fabric from a blouse that I made Morgan several years ago. I love this fabric. Okay, next up. So this is going to be 2 in 1, but I consider it 2 projects. So another Halloween bag. I pieced together some Halloween fabric, pumpkins, and then my zipper, my zipper pull is a little bat. And this is a Stony Creek plastic rattling. A Stony Creek pattern that Morgan and I, another one that she and I started together. And we started, I don't know if she started the second one or not. But I started the second one last year. So this is the first one. And the whole thing will look like that. And we have all of them. So this is the first one, and it's the Ghosts and Goblins. And this one could very well be a finish if I just sit down and get busy on it. Because, yeah. So I have the writing done to there. I still have the ghost to do. And then a little bit of the Reaper. And then at the scary, that starts, where'd I lay her? The Scary Witches. And I don't think it will get done this month, but I could make a good dent at it again. And I think I had worked on this earlier in the year because I remembered the black I had put into a challenge with the fandom group, Stitch on Black. I don't remember the exact stitches or whatever, but anyway, I would like to finish Ghosts and Goblins, and it is doable. I think I figured there's maybe 1,000 stitches, and a lot of that is backstitch, especially on the Reaper. But again, it's very doable to get it done. Okay, the next one, and I have to dump out my threads because they're over the top of my pattern. So this is Shabby Autumn, and I love this piece. And why I don't work on it more, I have I think it's Shabby Summer too that I've started. And again, I have no excuse. This is one though that I've got to get in and get blown up because the pattern is super, super tiny. It's really hard for me to read it. That's all the more I've gotten done on it. Ridiculous. And this is a piece that Morgan, and it's pinks and oranges, and I think she used, I want to say she used wine, like the color, not like drinking wine, but like the color wine, the dye it wine. I can't remember what color she used 3 or 4 colors to dye it for me, and it turned out so pretty. I'm really happy with the fall accentuation, and it complements the colors for it really well too. So that is Shabby Autumn. Okay, what do I have left? So this one is a Glendon Place, and this one is called Pretty Pumpkins. And I just love that. But I'm obsessed with pumpkins. I have pumpkins all over my house all year round because I love pumpkins. This is another one that I've got to get in and get blown up. And this is my very sorry excuse of a start, which is basically the middle, excuse me, of that pumpkin right there. So again, not a finish, but you know, 4 days will make a dent. And we're going into the city on excuse me, on Friday, so I should be able to get those blown up. I gotta remember to bring my water when I come in here. Let's see, I showed you the Art Nouveau. So last one, and I had completely forgotten about him, and I texted Morgan and I said, hey, isn't this like a fall piece? And she goes, absolutely. And I said, all right, it's going in there. So this is the Patchwork Crow, and his start is so disgusting, it's sad. This is a piece that I coffee filtered, so I took the grounds and I put on it and I soaked it in coffee, and I think I done something else to it. Anyway, totally grunged it up, and that's what and it was just a piece of white 14 count. So I'm really happy with it. I like how that looks. And this one calls for all specialty threads, so I'm not going to be able to wash it anyway. So it's a good excuse to, you know, keep that dirty fall look. I like it. And it's got pumpkins and crows. I mean, how can you go wrong? So those are my plans for October. So oh gosh, sorry guys. On the 21st of August, I finished my third novel. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a writer. I've written 2 other books. They're a series. And, you know, I joke with people, you know, they come up to me and they think I'm all serious and everything. I'm like, oh, what do you do for a living? You know, and most people will guess that I'm in law enforcement. And so then very seriously, because this is just the way I joke, I will look at them and go, no, I'm a mercenary. And I laugh at how many people actually take me serious. And so the joke has always been that I metaphorically kill people in writing. And then they just kind of take 2 or 3 more steps away and go, nice to meet you. Which I'm perfectly fine with because that's just my sense of humor. But I'm really excited that this third book is done and the series is finished. And unless, you know, the world ends, it will be sent to the publisher for final publication on Friday. So without further ado, Death by Postcard. And it is not for the lighthearted. It is Charlene's typical thriller pace. Yeah. And I love this. I love the cover. My cover designer is an amazing man. He actually does artwork for Marvel. And we struggled a little bit with the cover. I wanted the hint of romance with the lace and the flowers, but I also wanted the gore with the postcard. And yes, that's a meat cleaver. So anyway, it's done. We are on the last editing stage, and like I said, we're shooting for Friday to have this at the publisher. I have a book signing release party on the 21st of October at Sojourn Books in Conifer. There is information about it on our Facebook page. But if you're interested in coming, I would love to have you. I would love to meet you. It's from 1 to 3 on the 21st of October. Like I said, at Sojourn Books. I can't say that word. Sojourn Books in Conifer. And you can Google it, find her location and everything. She's got it on her website. We're doing a book signing release party, and I will have all 3 of the books that are in the series available. So yeah, that is my big finish for August. So now you see why my stitching, my quilting, life in general has kind of taken a back seat, because it's done. So I think that is all of my news. Like I said, the kids are doing great. Preston is incredibly busy. They're getting ready for snow season at work, so he's actually been doing tunnel washing this week, so he's pulled some really crazy hours. Sleep is overrated. You sleep when you die. Animals are all doing well. Yeah, we're just like Morgan, kicking ass and taking names. So if you want more information about the books, hit me up, send me a message. If you have questions about any of the stitching, I tried to go over everything. I hope I did. And I will not guarantee when I will be back. I'm going to shoot for an end of October. I'm also in the process of getting more signings set up. I've had 2 bookstores down in Denver approach me wanting to do signings. With the holidays coming up, schedule's getting busy. I don't know, but I will try to come back sometime around the end of October and show you my progress on my plans for my Halloween stitching, fall stitching, and yeah, so I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you are not too completely bored with the video. I hope you will look me up on Amazon or hit me up if you want an autographed copy. And other than that, I will wish you a wonderful day. And just remember, be kind. Bye, guys.